Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the November 18th, 2025 Hibbing Public Utilities Commission meeting. All commissioners are present, and we will call the meeting to order. Mr. Peterson, are there any adds or deletes?
Thank you, Chair Bayless. I would like to remove item 6D, FM Global Insurance Renewal. And we were just waiting. We haven't actually received this. We put this in the packet with the hopes that we would. I'm happy to inform the public that there is no rate increase for insurance this year, which is good. We just don't have the actual document yet. So we'll pull that and bring it up in December.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Item 3, approval of the minutes of the October 28th and November 6th, 2025 meetings. Wishes of the Commission.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Stokes.
Support.
Support by Commissioner Sandsted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I have nothing for citizens forum this evening. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Consent agenda item A, approve invoices greater than $10,000 and approve the bills and ACH transfers dated October 23rd through November 12th, 2025. Item 5B, approve the payroll paid and overtime report for the October 30th and November 13th, 2025 pay dates. Item 5C, authorize travel for year-end 2025 and quarter one of 2026. Item 5D, approve resolution 25-10, prioritizing biomass utilization. And item 5E, authorize listed requests for contributions. Wishes of the Commission.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Stokes.
I'll support.
Support by Commissioner Sandsted. Any discussion?
Luke, did you pull it at the beginning?
I did not, no.
Chair?
Yep.
I'd like to pull item 5D, please.
5D.
Yes.
Okay. Do we want to move ahead with approving the rest? Or do you just wanted to talk about it quick and then we'll go? Okay, go ahead.
So item 5D, I'm just looking for some more details on how that's going to impact our ratepayers and the utility.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, Commissioner Hart. I'm sorry. The item 5D is the request to declare biomass operations as the primary fuel for boiler 4, our biomass boiler. And as we've talked about in some working sessions, we all know Hibbing is back in the business of burning wood at the public utilities plant. But what this resolution lays out is this is officially declaring this a wood-only boiler, and in that case, that gas is needed. It's only with what the IRS calls flame stabilization or startup support. That gas is not a primary fuel used in boiler 4, and this resolution lays that out as part of our application for production tax credits that we'll be filing at the beginning of the year for operating year 2025. So it's a way of just kind of by policy and by commission action setting the stage and the tone for our biomass production tax credit application we'll be making in January.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson.
Perfect. Thank you. Are we good on D? Okay. We did have a motion and a second. If there's any further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda is passed. Moving on to 6, financials and risk management. Item A, approve October 2025 interim financials. Mr. Peterson.
Thank you, Commissioners. As always, the monthly financials are included in your packet for review, and also we have Tammy Matanen here who's available to answer any questions. But as you have listed in the write-up, the operating income for the 10 months ended October 31st is showing a loss of $563,000, which is a slightly higher loss than $85,000 1 year ago. And that is due to the seasonality of our overall operations. And with the heating months underway, we will start to eat into that loss and be hopefully break even by the end of the year for 2025. So with that, our total change in net position stands at $3.8 million for the 10 months ended October 31st, which is higher than $1 million at this period last year. and that increase of 2.8 million is due to increase in grant revenues. And also included for the public discussions, just the mention of our KPIs, which I shared with the commission email yesterday. It's not in the packet, but this shows our overall debt ratio at 9.3% for the end of October, which compares very favorably to peers. Our current ratio, which shows our kind of overall ability to pay our bills, stands at 4.5 versus industry average of 3.1. That's the chart on the left. And then our overall return on assets, and this is where our operating loss shows in that the public power average is about 5%, and that's the target that we have in our rate analysis, but due to the negative income, we're below zero on that return on assets. So overall, that compares to overall profit margin as well, that you can see on the bottom chart on the right. So overall, while we can improve on our overall profit margin and return on assets, as you can see by our debt and current ratios, we're in a very healthy position.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to thank Tammy for this. This is very helpful. I'm telling you, it's a lot easier to do than try to go through the whole chart like that. This is really nice. Thank you for your efforts. And anybody else who did this, I appreciate it.
Any other questions regarding the financials? Okay, looking for a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Hart,
I'll second.
support by Commissioner Stokes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Lou. 6B, approved 2026 operational budget.
Thank you, Chair Bayless. Commissioners, this is the operating budget that we are presenting for your review, in addition to ask any additional questions or recommend approval based on the conversations we've had at the working sessions here, both in October and November. So overall, we have presented an operating budget that shows a slight operating loss of $237,000 for a draft 2026 budget, and then an additional non-operating revenue of $1 million, which gives us a total budgeted change in net position of just under $1 million, or $840,000 for the year ended December 31st, 2026. And with that, I'd like to ask Tammy if you're able to come up to the podium and answer any questions or present any information on the budget.
Good evening, Commissioners. We've talked about the budget at the working session, and kind of talked at length about some of the operating items. I guess I'm looking to see if you have any additional questions, want any additional information?
Tammy, I did have a question. Mr. Peterson mentioned earlier about the production tax credits. How is that going to factor into the future budgets?
You know, we actually do not have the production tax credit built into the budget, so we're hoping our budget will come out a little bit more positive than what we have on paper here. Of course, that would be non-operating income as an additional line item. So yes, that will be hopeful, and also, you know, the grant or the budget was based on the rate study information. So just kind of moving forward on that, based on the assumption that rates will be implemented as presented by Baker Tilly and as of May 1st. So we're basing our budget assumptions on that increase May 1st.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. I have a question on the non-operating revenues, and just, it looks like a loss in the equity and LEA, and then the interest expense. Can you just explain a little bit about that?
On the operating the operating interest expense is interest expense that we book for our PFA loans that we have anticipated drawing through the end of 2026, as well as leases that we have outstanding. There's interest on those leases. And what was the other?
Changes in LEA.
Changes in the equity
Oh,
and LEA.
okay. So we have an asset on the book, that's our investment in LEA, and so we book depreciation on that fund, and then that is booked as change in an asset. So it's
Depreciation.
kind of depreciation, but it's booked as non-operating income because it's based on an asset that we hold outside of our normal funds.
All right.
That makes any sense?
Thank you.
It's
No.
kind of a small budgetary item, but
Yeah,
it
thank
has to
you.
be booked separate.
Perfect. Any other questions for Tammy? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, looking for a motion to approve the budget. Motion by Commissioner Babich,
Support.
support by Commissioner Sandsted. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6C, approve resolution 25-09, closing U.S. bank account number 7915-27056.
Thank you, Chair Bayless. Commissioners, before you is a resolution to authorize the closing of an existing bank account that the Public Utilities has held since 2005 since 2008 at U.S. Bank for the purposes of escrow and debt service reserve account for some bonds that were issued in 2005. And the in part of our authorization sign matrix, the commission is required to close any bank accounts. And so with the payoff of all the loans and the bonds that were associated with the reserve account, this account is no longer necessary, so it can be closed, and that's why we're bringing it forward for your approval to authorize the closing of that. And any existing balances will be transferred over to the HPU operating account upon
All right.
this resolution being transferred.
Cool. Thank you, Luke. Wishes of the commission?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Stokes, support by Commissioner Sandsted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 6E, approve the purchases of 1,000 tons of coal from DTE Energy in the amount of $83,640.
Thank you, Chair Bayless. Commissioners, ahead of you is the request to purchase 1,000 tons of coal for this upcoming winter season. As the commission is aware, biomass is our primary fuel, and we burn coal on an as-needed basis or for pollution control testing. And so it is the belief of ours right now that this 1,000 tons will get us through this winter and the necessary relative accuracy tests that were required under our air permit. I mentioned in my cover letter that the Superior Terminal of DTE is closing, and about 80,000 jobs are affected by the closing of coal operations in Superior, and our hearts go out to all those affected by those losses at the terminal. That terminal closure will take effect in June 30th of 2026. And as a result, I do expect that HPU will still need to secure coal. And so we're going to need to find alternative suppliers of coal. And with that, we'll be starting an effort to work with others, including the Midwestern Fuels Association, to try to find the best sources of the kind of coal that we need, both for our environmental standards as well as our lowest cost operations to our ratepayers. But getting back to the matter at hand, this resolution is, or this approval is just to purchase 1,000 tons for the upcoming winter.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Mr. Peterson, this purchase you're anticipating will get us through the winter. Are we anticipating any kind of a polar vortex situation? The great Karnak is asking here.
Yeah, that's an excellent question, Commissioner Sandsted. we have to expect the unexpected. Right now, what this does provide us is about 2 weeks of operations of solid coal if we needed to.
Okay.
So our intention is to basically bank this, and in the event that we do get through some tough weather, we expect 2 weeks to be an ample supply for right now. Based on our discussions that we are pursuing, it's not out of the question that we may be back in front of the commission with additional coal purchase, both to secure additional pricing or opportunities, but under a good solid estimate right now, this is about what we need for the winter.
So within this purchase, we have a little bit of a buffer?
That's correct.
A little bit? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Sandsted. Support by Commissioner Babbage. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 6F, approved purchase of Beltline step-down transformers from TNR Electric in the amount of $69,969. Luke?
Thank you, Commissioner Bayless. Commissioners, ahead of you is the request to approve the step-down transformers for the Beltline substation. As you recall, this is the substation that replaces the 60-year-old substation that's currently on the Beltline. We've already purchased the transformer. This is the next large purchase associated with that project, and this is for the step-down transformers. We are recommending TNR Electric, which was the lower of the two quotes provided. So with that, I'd entertain any questions or recommend approval.
Okay. Wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve?
Motion by Commissioner Hart,
Second.
support by Commissioner Stokes. Any discussion?
Just a quick question.
Yes.
With this step down, are we being impacted by the tariffs at all, or?
That's an excellent question on how the tariffs are impacted in that. I do not have the answer right in front of me, but I can get that back to you over email.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6G, authorize execution of MISO zonal resource credit confirmation for Wright Hennepin Electric and GRE.
Thank you, Commissioner Bayless. Commissioners, ahead of you is a request to authorize the sale of some zonal resource credits through MISO to a co-op in the metro area. Wright Hennepin Electric Co-op was recommended to Hibbing Public Utilities through some other MISO market connections that we have. And as the ratepayers are aware, we have our own power plant here in Hibbing. As part of that, we have the capacity to excess capacity. Basically, we have the ability to serve our community and then some, and to the then some to the tune of about 15 megawatts, and depending on the MISO season and how they accredit that. So this confirmation contemplates the sale of a portion of our excess capacity credits to Wright Hennepin Electric for the upcoming planning year of 26 and 27, and an additional amount in the 27-28 planning period going on following year. And the total estimated revenue back to us is between $1 to $2 million, and that would start taking effect toward the later half of 2026. It is currently not in the budget just because of the processes to go through and the MISO things, but we would expect that to be fully confirmed in early 2026.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Stokes,
Support?
support by Commissioner Hart. Any other discussion?
Can I just ask one?
Yep.
How much, with us going into agreement with Wright Hennepin, how much more capacity do we have than to go into agreement with somebody else?
We have between 3 and 11 megawatts in the 26-27 period, and we have approximately less for 26 or 27-28, so probably about 5 megawatts extra for 27-28.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Luke. Moving on to policy and governance. Item A, approved job descriptions and external posting for financial controller.
Yes,
Kendra?
Commissioners, if, we have updated the job description for the financial controller and seeking permission to post externally for that so we can fill that vacancy in permanent capacity. It's been budgeted for, just approved with the operational budget.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Kendra? If not,
Motion.
okay.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Stokes,
Support.
support by Commissioner Babbage. Any other discussion?
Quick question, are we posting internally or have we posted internally already?
It would be an external posting.
Just across the board?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
just to cast
Okay.
a wide
Yep,
net.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, approved job description and external posting for engineering manager.
So this position has changed a little bit. When I initially joined HPU, we were actively recruiting for a PE engineer. That recruitment effort hasn't been successful. There was only one candidate that did not meet all criteria that the recruiter was able to find. So Mr. Peterson and I have had discussions on looking at other ways to fill that position. So it's a department head position, so we feel that it would be in our best interest to look for somebody that's not necessarily an engineer or a PE, but that would be that department head overseeing the engineering department, maybe with a project management background. Still continue to look for preferred qualifications would be a PE, but just kind of look at seeing what kind of interest is out there and what kind of candidates we could get.
Okay. That's good. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Stokes,
Support.
support by Commissioner Babbage. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Kendra.
Thank you, Kendra. Yeah. Item C, approve updates to water installation fees. Luke?
Thank you, Commissioner Bayless. Commissioners, ahead of you is a request to just formally approve the water connection fees that we have in the office. We've reviewed these in the summer, compared them with alternative neighboring cities, and as well as kind of laying out some of the processes. And so we wanted the team wanted to bring these forward for commission approval so we could begin to implement these.
All righty. Looking for a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Stokes,
Support.
support by Commissioner Babbage. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D, approve MMUA for strategic planning consulting agreement in the amount of $21,000. Luke?
Thank you, Commissioners. As we discussed at the work session on November 6th, this is the continuation of the organizational development work that we worked with MMUA throughout the calendar year, and bringing it forward to final commission action. We'll mention that we had the opportunity to meet, Kendra and I did, with Carlene Koss from MMUA and Shelley Dow last week, was it? And they would hope to begin work in early January and to start working with the commission and identify the stakeholders that would be needed to complete the strategic plan, and looking forward to a kind of full wrap-up by middle of the year 2026. So.
Questions, comments?
Yeah, I will totally make the motion to support this.
Okay.
I just want to say I've been so pleased with the work that we've done with MMUA, and they're known as a leader throughout the state, and just the work that they've done with our commission and our utility in a limited amount of time has been really transformational. And I think we're just on the front end of good things happening, so I want to continue the work.
I'll second.
Okay. You did make a formal motion.
I
correct?
am formally
Okay.
moving that,
We have
yes.
a motion by Commissioner Sandsted and a second by Commissioner Stokes. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I don't have anything under new business. We'll go to old business. I have item A, MPCA site. Mr.
Yes,
Peterson?
Thank you for the opportunity to talk about this. Commissioners, as you're well aware, we have the Y-Yard, which is the former coal gasification plant that was included in the MPCA's Superfund site listing back in 2007. Following up with that, I've had some various conversations with an environmental attorney on just how to exit from that arrangement with the MPCA properly. I have another meeting with them tomorrow, but things are going well with that. Also happy to hear that the city has decided to do the new HRA development at Copcook Place. The first phase of that project will not impact this site. So that's really good. If there is funding awarded next month for the HRA to build the second phase of that project, we likely would need to kind of accelerate the exiting of this arrangement more quickly, but we'll be prepared to do that when that case comes. So we're in a good spot, both with the HRA development here in Hibbing, as well as our obligations and risk management with the MPCA.
Perfect. Anybody have any questions about the MPCA site? You like that? A slip up, yeah. That was pretty good, pretty well timed. Perfect. Thank you for that, Mr. Peterson. We'll move on to item B, lead service line update.
Commissioners, we continue to aggressively pothole the service lines that we have. So far, we've identified 6 blocks that have reached the 30% of the services on that block are lead service lines. That means that there's 6 additional blocks in urban Hibbing where we should be replacing the whole water main. So we can replace all the lead service lines along those mains. So we're looking forward to wrapping that up as the commission approved at the working session by the middle of next week, so we can be prepared to come to the December 2nd working meeting with kind of new evidence and recommendations for lead service line projects for next year that we can take action on. There's additional additional continuation of the public awareness and education campaign that we need to do. So far, we've had a lot of questions in the office of people understandably concerned about what's going on in their water and how can they be ensured of having safe drinking water for the future, as well as having a lot of information about what's their responsibility on the homeowner side of the water system with their pipes and the lead solder in their homes. So just more conversations are necessary, and look forward to answering and setting up any future public meetings that might be helpful for the community to go over and answer and ask questions related to water safety.
Good.
Did we send notices to the restaurants?
Yes, they're in the process of getting their notices right now. I think they're all at the,
Right, yeah.
they're mailed this week, Elliot, is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Thank you, Elliot.
Awesome. Luke, do we have any, did you have a question, Jim? No. Do we have our lobbyists on this by chance? I was just at a conference last week, and there was some talk about the state only putting like $250 million in a fund for funding these lead line replacements, and that's not very much for the whole state of Minnesota.
It's not. I have not spoken directly to our lobbyists about the lead service line yet. We have had a lot of conversations, though, with the staff at the Department of Health that actually administers the $250 million that they do have. You know, part of our hope was by aggressively potholing that will make the case for getting more than $1 million for next year. And as far as I'm aware, and Andy Brotzler's in the room here, we have not heard, the IUP has not been published yet, and the Department of Health has not finalized their amount of lead service line awards for next year. But that'll be something that we'll continue to look on and see how much our lobbyists can do and how much we'll be able to get the existing funding that's been already allocated to the Department of Health. So for instance, Duluth got $60 million last year for their lead service line projects, and we need 30. And so if Duluth needs 60 and we need 30, $250 million is going to be gone before any. So.
Well, that's before you touch Minneapolis.
Oh, right, and St. Paul. That's right. I have heard that St. Paul is done with St. Paul did this years before, so at least we don't have to worry about that.
That's good. Okay. Wonderful. Any other questions about lead service lines? Okay. Anything else, Luke?
Not at this time, Commissioner.
Okay. I'll be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Stokes,
Support.
support by Commissioner Sandsted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.